What if the very fabric of our existence is not as we perceive it to be? Let's embark on a journey of the mind, a voyage through the cosmos of thought, where we will challenge the boundaries of our understanding. Imagine, if you will, the possibility of a time traveler, not from a distant galaxy or an alternate dimension, but from our own planet, Earth. This time traveler doesn't come to us in a spaceship or through a wormhole, but through the natural progression of time itself, from a future beyond our current comprehension. Our time traveler's journey is not one of thousands of light years across the cosmos, but thousands of years into the future of humanity. He is an evolutionary descendant of us, an echo from a distant future where humans have transcended the limitations of our current existence. As we converse with this time traveler, we learn that to travel in time is also to travel in space. He describes a concept known as offset spatial divergence, a theory beyond the grasp of our current scientific understanding, yet he assures us it is as natural to his time as gravity is to ours. In his future, humans have not been replaced or subjugated by alien races. Instead, they have evolved, transcending the physical and mental boundaries that define us today. This is not a dystopian future of war and strife, but a utopia of knowledge and understanding, where we have evolved past the need for superstition, for myths, for gods. The time traveler is here in our present, not to change the course of history or to prevent some impending disaster. He is here simply to observe, to witness the world of his ancestors, to understand the roots of the future he hails from, and so we find ourselves face to face with a testament of our potential, a glimpse of what we might become, a vision of our future selves. We are left with a question that echoes in our minds. A question that challenges our understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos. So, you hail from a future where humans have evolved beyond our current state? So, what brings you to our time? A question that sounds simple but carries a weight of implications. From my future, I'm here as an observer, trying to understand the path that led to our present state. The future I come from is not the utopia you might imagine. It's a world marred by the scars of nuclear war, a testament to the destructive capabilities of mankind. In my time, Earth is a shell of its former self, a haunting reminder of a world that once teemed with life and vibrancy. The nuclear war that ravages the Earth in the future is not a distant possibility, but a reality. A reality that was birthed from the seeds of conflict and division sown in your time. The war does not annihilate all, however. A small number of humans manage to survive. Our ancestors, they cling to life in the face of unimaginable adversity, their resilience a beacon of hope in the desolate landscape. Their survival, while remarkable, is fraught with challenges. They must navigate a world that's been fundamentally altered, where the rules of existence as you know them have been irrevocably changed. My purpose in your time is not merely to observe, but to understand. To understand the choices that led to such a catastrophic future. To understand the triggers of the war, the decisions that pushed humanity to the brink of extinction, and in understanding, perhaps find a way to alter the course of history. The future I describe may sound bleak, a grim projection of what lies ahead. But remember, the future is not set in stone. It's a fluid entity shaped by the choices made in the present. And while the future I hail from is marred by the aftermath of nuclear war, it's not the only possible outcome. There's still time to write a different story, to choose a different path. A grim future indeed. Let's delve more into your time. So, you claim to understand the nature of the universe and life itself? Indeed, in the future, we've deciphered the cosmic puzzle. And the picture it paints is not only fascinating, but also humbling. You see, the nature and meaning of life are two distinct aspects. Meaning is a subjective overlay we ascribe to life, a narrative we create to make sense of our existence. It's fluid, unique to each individual. On the other hand, nature is the objective reality, the fundamental essence of life and existence. It transcends personal interpretation. In my time, we've embraced this distinction, and it has allowed us to explore the universe with a clear, unbiased vision. Now, speaking of the universe, its creation is a topic that has intrigued humans for eons. Theories have been proposed, debated, and debunked. In the future, we've unearthed the truth. The universe always was. There has only ever been existence of energy and matter that set the stage for everything we know. There has never been a time of non-existence. Only the amount of complexity increases, building more and more novel situations and constructs of reality. And what about God, you ask? Well, in the future, we've evolved beyond the need for such notions. We've realized that the universe, in all its complexity and wonder, doesn't necessitate a divine architect. It's a self-sustaining, ever-evolving entity governed by laws of physics, not divine decrees. This understanding doesn't diminish the beauty or the wonder of the universe. On the contrary, it amplifies it. It's a testament to the awe-inspiring potential of natural processes, to the grandeur of existence itself. So, no divine entity in the grand scheme of things? No, not in the way you might think. The universe, life, existence, they are their own miracles, their own divine entities. And understanding them, that's the closest we get to a spiritual experience in the future. We've replaced superstition with knowledge, myths with facts, and in doing so we've discovered a universe that's infinitely more intriguing and inspiring. What about death, our inevitable end? Now that's a question that has been haunting humanity since its inception. But what if I told you that death, as we understand it, is merely a human construct? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that our physical bodies don't cease to function at some point. They do. That's a biological fact. But the concept of end, the idea of a final stop, that's a human invention. Consider this, we're all part of the universe. The atoms in our bodies were once part of stars, of other planets, of galaxies far away. When our bodies cease to function, those atoms don't just disappear, they return to the universe, becoming part of other things, other beings, part of the never-ending cycle of matter and energy. But what about our consciousness, our experiences, our memories? Well, here's where things get interesting. You see, we perceive time as linear, one event following another in a strict order. But that's just our perception, our way of making sense of the world. In reality, time is not a straight line, it's more like a vast, sprawling web, with every moment existing simultaneously. You're not just living this moment right now. You're living every moment of your life all at once. And it's not just your life. You're living my life, his life, her life, every life that has ever existed or will ever exist. We're all part of the same life, separated only by what we perceive as death. This idea might seem overwhelming, even terrifying, but it's also profoundly beautiful. It means that we're all interconnected, all part of the same grand cosmic dance. It means that no one is ever truly gone, that we're all eternal in our own way, and it means that death, as we understand it, is not an end. It's just a transition, a shift in perspective. It's a part of life, not the opposite of it. So we are all interconnected in this cycle of life. Yes, we are. And in this cycle, there is no such thing as an end, only new beginnings. If there are infinite universes, why does ours support life? That's a question that's puzzled scientists and philosophers alike for ages. But the answer, as it turns out, might be simpler than you'd think. Imagine you're at a cosmic casino and each universe is a slot machine. Now, these aren't your ordinary slot machines. Each one is set up with completely different odds and payouts. Some might spit out life as we know it, others might produce life forms that are completely alien to us, and still others might not support life at all. The catch is, there are infinite slot machines in this cosmic casino, and when you have an infinite number of chances, even the most unlikely outcomes are bound to occur. That's the essence of the multiverse theory. Among the countless universes, there will be some, like ours, that by sheer chance have the right conditions to support life. Now you might be asking, but why is our universe so perfectly suited for us? Well, that's because of a concept known as anthropic bias. We can only observe and question our universe because we exist in it. If the conditions were any different, we wouldn't be here to ponder these questions. In other words, it's not that the universe is perfectly made for us. Rather, we are perfectly made for this universe. We are the result of billions of years of cosmic evolution, fine-tuned by the laws of physics and the random interplay of matter and energy. So in this vast cosmic casino, we hit the jackpot. Not because the game was rigged in our favor, but because we had an infinite number of tries. And here we are in a universe that can support life, a universe that allowed us to evolve, to learn, to question, to dream. An existence by chance then? Yes, but perhaps it's the randomness, the unpredictability, the sheer vastness of possibilities that make our existence so incredibly fascinating. We've often wondered, why do we resort to such destructive measures like nuclear war? The answer, as our time-traveling friend has pointed out, is rooted deeply in what we've come to accept as the norm. The root of all major conflicts of our species, political and religious dogma. Imagine, if you will, a world where beliefs are held above all else, above reason, above evidence, above compassion. These beliefs, or dogmas, are the unshakable pillars upon which societies are built. Yet they are also the walls that divide us, the sparks that ignite the flames of conflict. In our future, these dogmas will play a significant role in the downfall of our species. The seeds of destruction, sown by the hands of those who would rather cling to their dogmas than embrace the truth that we are all one, interconnected and interdependent, each of us a unique expression of the same life force. In the next century, the grip of dogma tightens. Access to weaponry of mass destruction becomes alarmingly commonplace. Nations ruled by dogma wield these weapons like a child with a loaded gun, unaware of the irreversible consequences. The future, it seems, is a battlefield scarred by the destructive force of nuclear war. A war not born out of necessity, but out of the stubborn refusal to let go of dogmas that no longer serve us. A war that could have been avoided if only we had chosen understanding over ignorance, compassion over hatred, unity over division. As we look to the future, let us not forget the lessons of the past. Let us strive to transcend our dogmas, to embrace a future where conflict is not the norm, but the exception. A future where our species thrives, not in spite of our differences, but because of them. For in the end, it is not our technology, our achievements, or our power that will determine our fate, but our ability to evolve beyond our dogmas. Only then can we hope to escape the self-destructive cycle that has plagued our species for millennia. Dogma, the downfall of our species. In a world with such revelations, what do you base your morality on? It's a fair question, and one that the time traveler has a compelling answer for. He tells us that in his time, morality is not dictated by ancient texts or societal norms, but by two simple yet profound principles: compassion and evidence. Compassion, he explains, is the emotional response to the suffering of others that motivates a desire to help. It's a fundamental part of human nature, a trait that has been shaped by evolution because it aids survival. Compassion leads to cooperation, and cooperation aids survival, but compassion alone can be misguided. It can lead to actions that feel right, but may not necessarily achieve the best outcomes. That's where evidence comes in. In the time traveler's future, decisions about what is right and wrong are guided by a deep understanding of the consequences of actions based on evidence. This evidence-based approach to morality allows for decisions that are not only compassionate but also effective. The time traveler explains that this shift towards a morality based on compassion and evidence has led to a society that is more caring, more rational, and ultimately more just. It's a society where actions are judged not on whether they conform to predetermined rules, but on whether they reduce suffering and increase well-being. He tells us that morality, in its essence, is about navigating the complex web of interactions that is human society in a way that minimizes harm and maximizes good. And the best way to do this, he says, is with a compass guided by compassion and a map drawn by evidence. He leaves us with a thought-provoking statement. In a universe where death is just a construct and every life is interconnected, isn't it logical that our morality should be based on understanding and alleviating each other's suffering, and on facts rather than beliefs? Compassion and evidence, the pillars of morality in the future. This has indeed been a mind-bending conversation. We've traversed the vast expanse of existence, from the intricacies of our own nature to the far-flung corners of the universe. We've encountered the future of humanity, where we've evolved and survived the aftermath of nuclear war. We've delved into the understanding of life and the universe, realizing that death is merely a human construct and that we exist among infinite universes. We've grappled with the roots of conflict, seeing how political and religious dogma can lead to our own destruction. And lastly, we've examined the basis of morality, understanding that it's grounded in compassion and evidence. As we wrap up this enlightening journey, let's remember the future is not set in stone. Our actions today can shape the course of tomorrow. Thank you for this enlightening journey through time and space.